Good evening. Welcome to the forecast discussion from March 13th, 2014. It's currently 7 p.m. and it's brutally cold out there as we had our one day of brutally cold Arctic air invade the region with temperatures in the mid to upper 20s, feeling like the lower to mid teens with wind gusts over 30 miles per hour throughout the entire Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Currently, we have temperatures in the lower to mid 20s over the interior and mid to upper 20s along the coast. We even have a few lower 30s here right along the New Jersey coast, but those temperatures feel like the lower teens because of wind gusts around 25 to 40 miles per hour. So it's been brutally cold out there. The good news is that this cold air is leaving and leaving quickly, and by tomorrow, temperatures are going to rebound into the mid to upper 40s over the interior and upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast, which is pretty much where we should be for this time of year. So pretty much temperatures are not going anywhere for the rest of the night, basically in the upper teens to lower 20s for lows throughout the region. And then we'll see a rebound towards warmer conditions by tomorrow afternoon. Here's the latest radar from Intellicast, and you can see here very clearly that we are pretty much high and dry. Our storm is out here in the Canadian Maritimes with a few lingering showers over Maine, and we have another disturbance moving through the Great Lakes. The rest of the east is pretty much quiet right now, with dry conditions all the way back to the southern plains. On the infrared satellite picture, you can see high pressure is in complete control. That's going to continue for Friday and for Saturday, with temperatures actually warming up to near 60 degrees by Saturday afternoon. That's right, 60. So, for tomorrow, start off kind of cold, upper teens to lower 20s, rebounding into the mid to upper 40s over the interior, upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast. Saturday, lows in the mid to upper 30s, highs in the mid 50s over the interior, upper 50s to lower 60s along the coast. Absolutely beautiful on Saturday. Then things get a little bit interesting for Sunday and Monday. Let me show you the water vapor satellite picture. There's a lot of talk out there about a major winter storm just in time for St. Patty's Day, which is Monday. Is this reality? Well, if everything, I mean everything, lines up just right, yeah, we could get some snow. How much? Don't know. However, notice I said everything. That's a key point. I'm going to show you the Canadian model guidance because that's been the most robust model. And I'm going to show you where the errors are. So that way you'll understand where I'm coming from. But right now we have the water vapor satellite picture. And you can see here very clearly we have a rather progressive pattern. This is a positive North Atlantic oscillation. Notice this storm is rapidly lifting north and east. There's nothing blocking it. There's no building heights over Greenland. We have a nice little upper level low that continues to move towards England. So there's no real blocking here. We have a nice little ridge, but it's not a block. It's just a ridge. And it's a ridge because we have a trough in the east, kind of balancing out the pressure, right? It's a conservation of mass. But it's not a block. Okay, so let's be clear. Just because you have a ridge doesn't mean there's a block. Meanwhile, we have one disturbance in the subtropical jet stream that is, well, it's strong, but it's not impressive. Then we have a polar disturbance, polar Pacific disturbance. And there's the key here. Beforehand, we had these storms that are coming in from the Arctic, and they were packed with a lot of energy and a lot of cold air. Now we're getting more of a Pacific influence here. And we have one disturbance, 2, 3, 4. Why am I counting out these numbers? I'm trying to show you this pattern is very progressive. There's a lot of energy. So any one of these disturbances here could really mess up the lining up of this storm and cause a suppression or cause the storm to shear out and not be as impressive. So let me show you how the Canadian model guidance is developing this storm. So first of all, we get through the whole forecast here for Friday, for tomorrow. Again, very comfortable, very nice. Temperatures rebounding into the upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast. We talked about Saturday. Now Sunday is where things get interesting. We have a cold front move through Early on Sunday morning, a few isolated showers, not a big deal here. Temperatures are a bit cooler, lower to mid 30s for lows. Highs on Sunday in the mid 40s. I think mid to upper 40s, though, to be honest with you. This air mass is not all that impressive, okay? It's been modified by the Pacific Air, as you can see right here. So this isn't a pure Arctic air mass. Now, here we are on Sunday afternoon. How do we get a winter storm? Well, the key on the Canadian model guidance is this. It has nothing to do with this disturbance, by the way. This disturbance interacts with this disturbance. As they interact, it causes this trough at 700 millibars to go from a positive tilt to a negative. So let's go to 84 hours. 84 hours, they start to interact. This disturbance, by the way, is kind of cut off here, just kind of meandering out there for some reason. Meanwhile, we have all this energy coming into the west coast, beating down this ridge. And oh, by the way, here's our upper level low with the polar jet stream, somewhat polar vortex here, giving us the cold air. And notice we have a lot of this convergence and confluence. See this purple here? That's sinking air. That should concern you if you're forecasting for a major winter storm, because all this sinking air here tells you that the environment is ripe for just as much for phasing of these two disturbances as shearing out. So it's not a slam dunk here, okay? So the interaction of these disturbances causes trough to start to dig towards Virginia, create more of a southwesterly flow, and push this moisture northward. The actual low pressure system track in this forecast has not changed. The only thing that's changed is that there's more moisture involved. And there's more moisture involved because these two disturbances interact and create more of a southwesterly flow, drawing moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. So the first problem with this forecast is that if these two do not interact correctly in just the right way without being sheared out over the Ohio River Valley and not too strongly to force warm air northward, that's how you get your snowfall. So that by the time you get to early Monday morning around 1 a.m., here's your low pressure system. Again, same track as what we've been seeing. Kind of weak, kind of strung out. These disturbances aren't really well developed. Here's our subtropical disturbance just kind of sitting there, okay, for no apparent reason. It's just kind of digging into the southwest. And here's your moisture advection. Now, again, this all is dependent on these two this polar disturbance and this subtropical disturbance that breaks off from this disturbance to interact just the right way and not too far north and not too far south. Just right. Sounds like Goldilocks, doesn't it? It's your typical Goldilocks storm. So, you can see here where all the error sets up here, okay? I've been kind of downplaying this storm on Twitter and Facebook because of all these factors, so everyone doesn't get overworked. Could this work out to produce a moderate to heavy snowfall? Absolutely. It could. If everything works out just right, just perfectly. And oh, by the way, we don't get an easterly wind that causes the temperatures at the surface, let's say over coastal New Jersey and New York City, to warm up to, let's say, 35, 36 degrees, and you just get snow in the air and it doesn't stick. Highly possible considering the day before it's 60 degrees. And this cold air mass is not all that strong. So again, I'm kind of pointing out all the factors here that would cause this storm to fall apart. And these factors might not show up correctly until we're 24 hours out from the storm. We've been through this before, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just showing you what the pattern is showing, okay? So the storm moves out. Let's say for right now, we're looking at rain and snow showers, going over to snow showers. So on Monday, you're looking at low temperatures in the mid-20s, high temperatures in the mid-30s, okay? We'll go with that route right now until we can iron out this storm. But just to kind of make a point here, this is a short duration storm, comes in, goes out, driven completely by the idea that enough moisture is drawn northward and isn't sheared out or suppressed by dry, cold air to the north to get into the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan areas. So once that moves through, then the bulk of this thunderstorm, all this energy, just kicks everything right out. So again, the whole key to this forecast comes down to here, Sunday afternoon. If this disturbance and this disturbance do not interact correctly, then you don't get that push from the southwest into the northern mid-Atlantic to get that moisture northward. If that doesn't happen, then this moisture feed right here just goes southwest to north to east northeast. Just goes straight like this, right here. Okay, basically cuts through the Tennessee River Valley towards Virginia and out towards North Carolina. Okay, basically cutting the line right here. So that's what you need to happen. You need to see these two disturbances interact just right, and this, by the way, doesn't push everything too far south. So again, a lot of factors here to take into account, which is why I am not going overboard with this storm, making a big to-do about it. What we'll do is watch it, see how it evolves. We'll learn a lot over the next 24 hours, and we'll go over the models, and I think by then the models are going to recognize just how progressive this pattern is. So this storm exits out, and then by Tuesday, we start to warm up again. High pressure starts to take control. Temperatures still below normal, in the mid to upper 20s for lows and upper 30s to lower 40s for highs, but overall not too bad. Then on Wednesday, we have a cold front approaching the region. Look for temperatures to range from the mid to upper 20s for lows, mid to upper 40s for highs. Clouds increasing, scattered showers moving through. This is a rain event. It's just a cold front moving through. Nothing more, nothing intense or impressive with this one. And then on Thursday, still kind of chilly out there. Still temperatures below normal. Lower to mid 30s for lows and mid to upper 40s for highs. So we'll keep an eye on this storm for Monday. There's a lot to go over here. There's a lot that could go wrong that could lead this to being a complete non-event. So we have time. We have another day, Friday, to really go over everything, and then we'll break everything down and get everything ready for the weekend for you. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.